Do you remember any wild moment as a biker during making a movie?
It's difficult making a movie when you're using 1905, 1910 technology. The races that were put together with obviously with stunt crews from all over the world. The first day, I think it was the first day, no, in fact, before we even started shooting, we had an actor injure themselves quite badly. We had many injuries with stunt crews. They've done an amazing job under very difficult circumstances. I think that one day we wound up with 3 broken bones. Unforeseen crashes, accidents, I mean, it's going to happen on a job like this where we're trying to make it look exciting and so on. So those are probably the wildest days, the racing days, yeah.
The stunt guys were Romanians or?
They had a mixture as usual. There was several Romanians and some French guys and some Italian guys. So, and a South African guy as well, for that matter.
Also.
Yeah, we call him Mad Malcolm. He's been wrecking my builds for about 25 years now.
So because you had to deal with more than 80 bikes, which were partly produced in Romania, which was the most difficult part in producing these bikes here?
It's very hard to say that specific moment was difficult. I can actually tell you what the really good moments were. We were trying to pedal start these bikes as they would have done in the 1900s. And we decided it's just not working for shooting a movie, that we've got to do all this work to get the bike going. So we actually used big electric starters that we put onto the motor and you crank it with a...
Like at the races?
Like at the races, because they had belt drives. So anyway, we eventually got one to actually start from pedaling, which was a great moment because it meant we actually made it like the original. And these things were practically impossible to shoot on set because, on set you need, that they want to call it. They want to go, okay, ready, action. You've got to spend 5 minutes starting them. And to pull it off with the early bikes have a leather belt system. So you pull the lever. So as you pedal it into life, you pull the lever and you go chugga, 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 and off it goes. And obviously it was very difficult to shoot because sometimes the guys would stall it and so on. And what was actually quite amazing was that the lead actor, Michael Haseman, he was the first guy that pulled off on the first try on his own with no assistance. And he was able to actually drive all these bikes as they would have been driven in 1905, 1906.
But I believe that he was only lucky.
Well, I wouldn't say he's lucky. He was actually, I think we were all standing there watching him drive off the first time and going, this is going to take a bit of time, and he just disappeared down the road. And we all had to run off after him because we weren't expecting him to disappear down the road. So it was really, those were the great moments.
So in your private life, what sort of bike do you use?
Well, I've bought the 1930 VL from this movie, which is a real old-fashioned cruiser. I think I prefer, I don't like racing bikes on the road at any rate. So I'm going to play with that a lot when I get back to South Africa. I like going places where you can look. So I mean, I would have an adventure bike as well, but I think that would be my ideal bike.
So I'm sure that in South Africa you visited a lot of remote places.
Yeah, there's beautiful places to go to in South Africa. There's fantastic drives. You can, the Western Cape alone has thousands of kilometres of dirt roads, and again, you need an adventure bike for those. So that would be, I mean, the ideal bike for those conditions is definitely an adventure bike of some kind.
Okay, and now, do you have any advices for the Romanian beginner bikers?
Well, I think if you look at the movie we've just done, you've got to start. You've got to start somewhere, and it doesn't matter what you start with as long as you carry on with it. So in Romania, we noticed the winter, obviously, the guys are not big on the bikes. It's definitely a summer exercise here. Get a bike and go riding. I mean, that's what you've got to do. You've got to start with something and just enjoy it. And go where you want to go.
Thank you, Alex. Okay. Thank you a lot. Thank you for your time.